I'm here with Jessica Jones, who works at the Columbus Museum of Art. We're also at the museum right now, and can you just tell us what you do here?
Sure. Well, my name's Jessica. I work at the museum, and I work with teacher and school programs, so I get to work with teachers often, and I get to go out to schools, and I get to work with students when they come here to the museum, and I've been here for almost 10 years now. So.
We're here to look at Henry Moore's sculpture. This piece is one of my favorites, and it's such a great. You can come here and see it any time. Obviously, you don't have to pay to go in. It's right up front where the traffic is. What else is great about this?
Well, one of the things that I love about this piece is for it to be such an important piece of artwork. It sits right outside the front of the museum, and what it does is it kind of it signals that this is the Columbus Museum of Art. So it's our main piece that sits out front to let everyone know as they drive by in this busy street, as I'm sure you can hear all the cars driving by in the back of the buses, that this is the museum. That's one of the things that I love about this piece. Okay, so this piece by Henry Moore, it's called a reclining figure, and if you look at it, right off the bat, it maybe doesn't seem like a figure, but it's an abstract. So he would take people and he would kind of abstract the important things. He would take out the important things and he would leave those and to let you know that it's a person. Kind of like, you can see that this is a knee. How many times have you sat up and bent your knee and you can kind of see that curve? That's what happens with the abstraction and the way he works. This is a really cool place because you feel like you can hide in here. I've always wanted to curl up in here and, I don't know, with a campfire and marshmallows. It feels like a cave. It's great. One of the other things about this that makes it so interesting, because he is doing an abstracted piece of a human, of a person, when you look around at it, if you walk around the piece, it has so many interesting holes. No matter which angle you look at it, it's really interesting. It's like there's a secret at every spot around the piece. That's one of the things that I find so fascinating. No matter which angle you look at it, it's really interesting. And the negative space is really important for helping to create that.
We're now inside the museum, and this statue at Rodin was done 100 years, 1875, from the Henry Moore out front. Look how realistic it was.
So in that 100-year span, a lot of things changed. Up until a certain part in art, artists were really trying to work to make things look as realistic as they could. That was the sign that you were a really great artist, if you could make things look as realistic as possible. But then, around the time of the invention of the camera, you could get a photograph of what things looked like in reality. So it allowed artists to think in different ways, and they started moving away from trying to make things look just as realistic as possible. And they started to try to bring more emotion in. You can see the beginnings of that in this piece. But by the time you get to the Henry Moore, things are completely abstract. The reality piece is absolutely out the window.
This right here reminds me of my hands and the lines on my hands going up. Right? When I lived right around the corner here and I was going to college, my dorm was really loud, and even before I knew who Henry Moore was and all the cool things that he was about, I used to love to sit right here and do my homework. But you're not really allowed to do that because of that sign. At least not get caught. You can also find this in Columbus. It's next to our courthouse building, and what's really cool is first of all, it's not a person like the one at the museum is. It's just organic. But look how it sets off these buildings over here. All this organic shape. Look at this negative space. But they didn't just do it next to the buildings. What helps the organic sculpture is those trees in the background. So there's this park built all the way around it. And if you look down here, Sometimes this is full of water, and this can be like a fountain coming over with water and organic shapes all around. So that concludes a short trip to the Columbus Museum. This is close enough that you can come at any time. I strongly encourage it, especially those rainy days that you can't find things to do outside. The museum's always open and dry and beautiful.
And one thing I wanted to share is we are free on Sundays. It's a great day to come down with your families. I hope to see you.